Alright, so if you're into retro gaming, more than likely you've heard of the Retron 5. It's a cool system and allows you to play a bunch of different systems all on one device. And while there is some controversy as to whether or not the stuff used to actually play the games is legal or not, looking past all that, it's a system I really enjoy. It's fun to play, and more importantly, it's convenient. It's an all-in-one system, and it allows me to capture footage easily. Now, a lot of people have a Retron 5, but I don't think a lot of people realize what the Retron 5 can do and what the benefits are of it. So in this video, I want to show you guys a couple quick tips on how to get the most out of your Retron 5. So let's check it out. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is the SD slot card over here. A lot of people don't necessarily use this, and it's actually good for two different things. The first thing is cheat codes. So one of the smaller drawbacks of the Retron 5 is that you can't use devices like the Game Genie. And while that does kind of suck, Hyperkin has come up with a way to alleviate that problem by using the SD card slot that I just showed you guys. Basically, you could download a cheat file from their website, put it on the SD card, and put the SD card into your system. What that does is whenever you play a game, you can go to a cheat menu beforehand, and there's a whole bunch of different cheats, and it essentially acts like a Game Genie. So if you're looking for any sort of cool cheats, cool little hacks and stuff, that's a great way to really open up your games and be able to use some really cool cheat codes. Now, another function of the SD card slot, and in my opinion the more important of the two options, is that you can use translation patches with this. So what that means is you can open up your library extensively. Now, there's a lot of games on the Super Famicom, for instance, where you don't really need to know Japanese to enjoy them, but there's a lot of games that you do. Plus, a lot of RPGs for the Super Nintendo and various other systems are pretty pricey. If you look at a game like the Final Fantasy series on the Super Nintendo, you're paying a lot of money for those games, when in actuality, you could avoid that if you just want to play the game. So basically what you do is you could pick up a Super Famicom version of something like, let's say, Final Fantasy VI, which where the American version could go $40 or more, the Japanese version is commonly $10 or less on eBay shipped. That's a big savings. What you do is you download onto the same SD card a translation patch for the game. You insert that into the Retron 5 on the SD card, and boom, you're playing a translated version of the game. So once again, this is a great way to save some money and still play some awesome games, fully translated so you know what's going on. And like I said, you can also play other import games as well. So you're able to play Famicom, Super Famicom, Mega Drive games, and it really opens up the system's library. And with the translation patches, you're saving a lot of time and you're saving a lot of money by picking up the foreign versions of these games. So the Retron 5 supports a multitude of systems, but there's one system that's very underutilized on the console because it's not necessarily plug and play, the Master System. So Sega released a thing called the Power Base Converter for the Sega Genesis, which was a plug-and-play option to play Master System games on your Genesis, which the Retron 5 is fully compatible with. But those are a little pricey nowadays, so if you want to play Master System games on the Retron 5, there's a much cheaper solution, the Power Base Mini from Stone Age Gamer. Now, I haven't reviewed this yet, but I will be reviewing it soon. But basically, this is a plug-and-play option to play Master System games. It's only about $35. You plug it into the Genesis slot, and boom, you're playing Master System games on the Retron 5. It's a much cheaper alternative than getting the official Power Base from Sega, because that's going for like $100 plus nowadays. This is a great way to open up the library of the Retron 5, and Master System's really fun. I'll be doing more stuff with the Master System in future videos, but for now, trust me, you'll want to pick one of these up if you want to play some Master System games. So the final way to get the most out of your Retron 5 is with controller support. The Retron 5 comes with this wireless controller. It's not a bad controller, but it does have a little room for improvement. Now, you can use official controllers like the SNES controller, the NES controller, the Genesis controller, but they're not wireless. So if you're looking for a wireless solution, there's actually stuff out there for you. This is the NES 30 made by a company called 8bitdo.com. I'll put a link to their site in the description box below. But basically, this is a Bluetooth controller, it's really comfortable, and I really like the button layout. Dual analog, it's a really smooth little controller. D-pad is nice as well. This is actually compatible with the Retron 5. There's a whole bunch of Bluetooth controllers that are compatible with the Retron 5. So this is yet another controller option. So if you have a friend over, or you just don't feel like using a wired controller or the wireless one that comes with the Retron 5, you can use an alternative controller like this. It's really easy to set up too. And those are a couple ways to get the most out of your Hyperkin Retron 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and more importantly, I hope you guys learned something, because a lot of the stuff I didn't know about when I first got my system. I've had it for almost 2 years now, and I really do love it. So if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, let me know if you learned anything or if you have any tips for me as well, some cool things that you can do with the Retron 5, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.